Otteson. I live at 307 3rd Avenue in Haddon Heights. I'm here tonight because I've recently been provided with a copy of a lawsuit that's filed by Scott Alexander, our mayor's ex-wife. The complaint includes allegations of fraudulent activity, including money secured through providing false information.
Excuse me, sir. This comment section is for items for new business only, this section of the meeting.
This deals with new business.
Yes, there is.
Financial
Financial events within the borough.
Financial events that are going to be passed tonight that we do not think should be passed until this is addressed.
I don't think that a private lawsuit is...
It involves...
It was fraud.
Mr. Gleaner, I think it puts you in a position of conflict.
You're discussing a private lawsuit involving the mayor.
That alleges fraud.
$98,000.
$98,000 in fraud.
That alleges $98,000 in fraud.
Well, first of all, that lawsuit is settled.
And to the extent that you appeared,
The
aren't you in conflict with the 7,500 other people?
the lawsuit that you're referring to has been settled.
It doesn't matter that it's settled if fraud was committed, and this mayor is making recommendations on budget money for our town. I'd like to know how it was settled. I'd like to know the terms of the settlement.
The lawsuit has been settled, and they are allegations in a lawsuit.
And they can be addressed at this meeting tonight by the mayor explaining what happened.
The lawsuit, sir, the lawsuit has been settled.
I heard you, sir.
Okay. There has been no, and I'm telling you, there has been no payment by Mr. Alexander on anything in there except for he and two other defendants have contributed towards the legal fees. That is the settlement of the lawsuit.
That doesn't explain the fraudulent allegation.
Nobody can allege anything in the lawsuit.
That is true, and anyone can explain the allegations.
These are items that need to be explored because there's an allegation of fraud. We have a man here that is in charge of a $9 million budget that makes decisions every day on financial activities that with money that comes out of my pocket and how it's spent. We have council people here that aren't informed on what the expenses are for, they're not provided documents, and there's no transparency here. We want transparency, we want answers on these fraudulent allegations. We are asking Mr. Alexander to resign, and we're asking the people on council to support this move, and this should be done immediately. And we would ask that you recuse yourself if you also represented him in any of these activities.
First of all, there's no conflict. The Supreme Court has ruled on that already. There's no conflict.
In this particular case, the Supreme Court ruled on that?
No, the Supreme Court has ruled on whether or not a borough solicitor can represent council members in private matters. There's a direct ruling, ethical ruling, and there is no conflict. They already ruled.
Ethical
If it was a family court issue versus here,
I'm not
it's
going
different.
it's a side issue.
It is not.
Well, Mr. Alexander,
Anybody, as you know, anybody can allege anything they want in a lawsuit. The lawsuit has been resolved.
that doesn't clear up the issues in the lawsuit, and it doesn't clear up the issues. Mr. Alexander, this accuses you of taking a loan out on property that you didn't own, on borrowing against your property, of doing it without your ex-wife knowing it, of, I guess, forging her name to documents. I mean, do you have any comment on that?
None of it's true.
Okay.
That's my answer.
You didn't get the checks at your PO box.
It's settled, I have nothing to say, it's settled.
So I'm just going to read.
Are you aware that it's settled? Do you have a copy? I don't have it with me. I can get you a copy showing you.
But it being settled doesn't mean anything. The banks that have settled, and paid the money, which happens a lot of times in these.
Can we have one
That's not the
conversation at a time, so that the audience
I want
is just
everybody to know
learning
what this
this?
is. There was a lawsuit, it involved his ex-wife, and it's settled. It's settled among the people involved.
Okay, my name is Meg Castiglione, I live at 210 4th Avenue in Haddon Heights. I have one question. I came here on a totally different issue. But here's my question, I guess for you, Mr. Gleaner. Did I just hear you say that you represent the mayor on private matters and You are the borough solicitor?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need is
It's
yes.
true.
I don't need to know that there's a ruling, a Supreme Court ruling that says that this is okay, and et cetera, et cetera. That may be very legal, but to me, a citizen of this town for 26 years, a Camden County freeholder for 9 years, a superintendent of schools, that poses an ethical problem as a citizen of this town. Now all of this is news to me today. It's upsetting to know that you represent the borough and us, everybody sitting here, and you represent the mayor of our town privately. I take umbrage with that.
It may be, maybe.
You don't have to answer me. I think there are other people in this town that might say, gee, the mayor's lawyer is also my lawyer? That's all I have to say on that issue. I'll be back.
I think we deserve an explanation and some answers. And there's a breach of ethics here.
No, you don't deserve answers.
I think we
on private
do.
matter. No, you don't.
I don't want you to represent me as my mayor. I want you to resign. And I want you to know that.
Fully
And
noted.
if the people up here are not supportive of that, then you resign too.
Fully noted.
This
No
could
further transparency, nothing.
To my personal matters, absolutely not.
It's not personal when it overflows into the finances of this town. It
It does
shows
not overflow the funds to
financial
the town. It's a
misstep.
personal matter.
It shows financial
That's
misstep.
what Fuma was
Absolutely not.
saying, and all these politicians in Christie prosecuted said that same thing.
Said what?
That it was a personal matter, but it's not a personal matter when the governor of New York was having sex with a prostitute. That's a personal matter? No, it's a matter, you're representing our town. It's no longer personal when you're representing us, when you have a budget of $9 million and you're being accused of a fraudulent activity.
Exactly.
Accused.
Right.
Well,
And
this
it's not
says, did you
receiving
take,
denied payments.
yeah, this says that in 2006, you took out checks on a home equity line of credit on a property that wasn't your property at the time. Is that untrue?
I get no comment. It's been settled. There are allegations that are untrue, and that's all I have to say.
But you filed no responsive pleading.
I'm sorry.
You filed no responsive pleading with the court.
That's correct. It was resolved even without the filing of, that's how quickly it was settled.
Exactly. No, it
But
was not
that's-
settled quickly from what I understand. If it's been settled now, when did it settle?
It's settled, the portion of his allegations were settled, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about that.
About that?
How, when?
About 3 weeks ago.
Oh, the complaint was filed in April. And the answer would have been due within 35
You
days.
of all people know how long the litigation takes.
Within 35 days, an answer was due and none was filed.
As a matter of fact, it wasn't required by the court. Okay? You
The
don't know
rule's
what
not
happened.
required an answer.
The court did not require the filing an answer. The court directed litigants to talk to each other to try to settle. I don't
Based
know.
upon an order to show cause.
Yeah,
Right,
yes,
that was filed.
yes, that's the way Chancery Division actions start, you know that.
And there was nothing filed between the appearance on the order to show cause
Correct.
and the settlement date.
It wasn't required. That's right.
What was the settlement in August?
The 3 named defendants contributed to counsel fees. That was the settlement with the plaintiff.
And what happened to the $99,000 that was barred against the Helen Lewis?
That is still being discussed with Third Federal.
So it's still outstanding.
With Third Federal, he's bringing up the suit by Linda Alexander. We're talking about what's involved with Third Federal.
Third Federal, which was the lending institute that sent the loans to the mayor's post office box in Barrington.
I'm not going to get into the specifics of litigation, but that's what's happening.
Well, the specifics are simply what flushes out the court's file in Camden. That's the specifics, and since transparency has always been a stated goal of this administration, what is the problem with transparency or lack thereof?
I'm not,
What we
You
want
don't
to
wanna
know,
discuss specifics?
we want to know what happened. Yeah, just because a bank is settling this doesn't mean that something wrong didn't happen. It doesn't mean that there wasn't fraud. It just means that the bank,
doesn't mean there wasn't.
that is true, that is true. Scott, did you get checks on this line of credit?
But I've already told you I have no comment. It's a personal matter. and it's been settled, and I have no comment. I
And
don't
it's
know how
not
much
a
more
personal
clear.
matter when you're,
Let me explain something to you. I said I have no comment, okay?
You are a
It's
public
personal
figure.
matter. It's a personal matter.
You have to
It's been
answer
settled.
questions to the town on what you
No, I
do.
don't. No.
There's a code of ethics to be followed here, a code of ethics.
Tom, absolutely not.
Then resign. If you can't answer the question, resign. I want an
I
answer.
already heard you. Okay,
And you're talking on a home equity loan.
okay, let's look, you get 5 minutes on an issue. It's been more than 5 minutes, okay?
We have free speech rights.
You get 5 minutes.
We have free speech rights.
Understood, you have 5 minutes, and the 5 minutes is up, okay? Up. Thank you.
I'd still like you to tell me.
Thank you, it's been 5 minutes.
Where is
That
it?
everybody else gets.
Wait, I have
to
5
take
minutes. Show me where it's written that I have 5 minutes, when I listen to you for an hour or 2 hours sometimes.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, I have no comments, okay? It matters about those, no comments.
So you're not saying it's untrue.
I already said that.
Well, you say you have no comment now, when I'm asking you a
I
specific
said
question.
they were untrue allegations, that's what I said.
So
And I
you
said
did
I have no
not-
further comments.
You did not take 26,000 on line of credit on a house that you
Again,
did.
I don't have the details in front of me, I have no comments.
I can
So,
show you the details.
Again, the 5 minutes is
Mr. Gerald
up.
hasn't
We're done. We have other people here that need to speak tonight, okay? All right?
I think this is more
Thank you.
important. When you're dealing with the budget, $9 million in this town, I think this is more important.
Understood.
Mr. Merrfield, this is all news to myself, I can't speak to other members, but unlike in a marriage where it's just two people, or in a divorce where it's the lawyer and the people, in the town, there's checks and balances. When we talk about paying of the bills and things, there's 6 of us that are looking at that. So I have no expertise in any of this, but I do feel that there are checks and balances for finances. We have a finance committee, we have finance director, we all live in town, so. I can't, wait, let me finish. I can't speak to what you're